What's up guys, it's Sky and I'm going to break down this dogfight that I posted last week when I jumped on PC. Reason that I like this dogfight is because it shows off a lot of things that I've been practicing and changing about my flying game. A lot of things that I've posted in the previous few weeks about the rolling scissors and how to dodge fire in a fighter plane, as well as my new switching theories that I've been working on, are all in this video. One thing to note is that this is my first time hopping on PC in a couple months, and my maneuvers are not as refined on PC. I'll try to post a dogfight from PS4 in the next couple days or maybe next week. Still a lot of things that you can learn from this dogfight in particular. One thing to note is that my opponent is continuously spotted on the minimap. Someone on the ground is doing me a favor and keeping him spotted, so it works out a little more like a dogfight from BF4 when you have full-time air radar. A lot of times though in Battlefield 1 you're going to have to make do without any help from the minimap. The next dogfight I'm going to look at is going to feature one with no minimap. My opponent's not spotted, and I'm going to talk about how to operate with no minimap. A big thing to note is that I'm going to talk about top, bottom, and middle a lot. This is a great way to visualize space in a dogfight. Obviously the top is near the flight ceiling, bottom is near the ground. You always want to switch at the top and bottom of the loop, always, 100%. A simple 90-degree turn at the top and the bottom of the loop can drastically alter your angles. But that's not enough. You also have to be able to operate in the middle of the loop, and the middle of the loop is where you're going to do most of your work. Another thing that I'm going to talk about is rotation. The techniques that I'm going to show you is a lot like a vertical scissors, but it's also important to keep rotating. You have to be able to deny your opponent angles and cuts constantly. One of the ways to do that is to keep rotating, but I'll talk about it in the video. You'll see that my opponent gets the jump on me after I strafe B flag here, and being able to operate in a negative dogfight is one of the hardest things to do, and make it worse by showing my butt to him immediately. First thing you need to do is shake his aim and use fast energy, use speed to try to gain separation, minimize the angles, and I do that by climbing to a high elevation, diving right at him here. If you look on the minimap, he's already starting to countercut me here with what looks like a high yo-yo, but I've succeeded in minimizing his angles and getting close to him, and this is where the turning battle begins. I'm going to go middle, rotate to the left a little bit, and go top. At the top, I'm going to switch. Here I should go middle, switch, and then rotate to the left, but actually end up going bottom. I really wasn't comfortable with the controls at this point, and actually ends up giving him angles on me. Basically by going top to bottom so fast, I flew right past my opponent, put too much distance between us, so kind of back to square one. Go to the top, switch, go middle, rotate. If you look on the minimap here, you're already seeing that I'm taking angles away from him. At this point, all I need to do is switch, turn 90 degrees, and go bottom. Unfortunately, I'm operating with a higher sensitivity than I used to, and I end up turning 270 degrees. If you notice on the minimap, it'll rotate in the opposite direction, and this is a classic case of over switching. Basically, instead of turning 90 degrees, I turn 90 degrees in the other direction. Again, all that work I did squandered in one move, and you see how it's important to have really fine maneuvering in an advanced dogfight. That's why I tell you guys, you gotta go on an empty server and practice, practice, practice. And I got a comment on my switching tutorial video saying that it's really not important anymore. It's important at all levels. In this video, I showed you a basic switching schematic. It's up to you to adapt it to every situation. You may go top and then you may rotate instead of switching. You may go bottom. You may go bottom and rotate instead of switching, or switch right away. But both elements, switching and rotation, are important in denying your opponent angles. In the next video, I'll show you an opponent that doesn't rotate, and you'll see exactly why it gets him in trouble. Also remember, maneuvers at the top are slower but safer, and maneuvers at the bottom are faster but again riskier, because if your opponent has angles on you, then you've lost all your elevation and you're going to be really slow to climb back up to high elevation. So I've already messed up 2 times, so at this point I'm just going to go to a rolling scissors and actually engage his rolling scissors perfectly. I switch at the top with a tighter loop, and you'll see on the minimap that my opponent overshoots me here. Not only that, but you'll see the compass on the minimap rotate 90 degrees after my top switch. So now my rolling scissors have rotated 90 degrees. That was a perfect way to engage a rolling scissors, and it leaves my opponent in a quandary because they have to follow the tight barrel roll, or else they'll overshoot me and I'll be a step ahead of them with the next move. If they put on the brakes, they won't be able to maneuver, and then I'll probably pretty easily be able to get behind them. I know that was a lot of information I just threw at you guys, and you may not immediately see how to apply this to your own piloting, but hopefully it gives you some new things to work with in addition to your own tried and true methods. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.